Hey everybody, welcome back to Keith 60 Hot Shot Adventures, and today we're doing something a little, it's cold outside, got nothing going on. Kind of got into some shooting and some stuff like that, so I did like a little competition league for about 8 weeks, running iron sights, and I noticed I was the only one shooting basically iron sights. So, decided, well, after 8 weeks of pretty much doing just as well as everybody else with the red dot, I figured, well, I can only do better, so I went and this is a Smith Wesson M&P 9 M 2.0 edition. I bought this 5 years ago at least. When I was kind of getting into this was the first one. This is the first one I bought, and this has kind of always been, I guess we'll say, my range unofficial competition gun. Was my first one I've ever bought, and since then I've gotten the Shield Performance Center. I got a couple other ones, but this is the one I use specifically for the league. It's got the long, as they call it, I call it the long slide, but it's just a 4-inch barrel. It's not anything super special, but anyway. So, since when I bought it, it was not optics ready. So it doesn't have the platform where it's already pre-milled and all that stuff, so I had to do some homework. And I found that Advanced Optics, this mount TF1, right there, has everything I need. So I basically just went to the garage, and this was the original rear sight. Sat there, put a rag in the vise, sat it in there, lightly clamped it, used a center punch, and as you can tell, tapped it out. Is what it is. I don't have the tool to press it out. Wasn't buying it, so I just tapped it out slightly. But just know when you go to tap it out, there is this little guy right here. That corresponds to this here. There's a spring behind it. So when you're tapping out, make sure that doesn't fly out. So obviously rear sight, here's the number, TF2, front sight, and then orientation is like this. And that's how that will basically go. For the red dot, I went with the VOTATU. It's not a Hollow Sun or Voyager or any multi-$100 red dot. Kind of doing it on a budget here, but it's got the shake awake, all that good stuff, motion activated, manual, and it's got the manual on and off. It's got elevation and windage adjustments, and this comes ready for multiple platforms. So I had to find a red dot that platform would fit the slide mount. It took a week or two to get this mount. Not a whole lot of options for this M&P. I was originally going to just buy, since call it the lower in this case, I was just going to buy an optics ready slide. Well, this ended up being a whole lot cheaper. I think it was like 20-30 bucks. It was super cheap. Went with VOTATU. It was kind of in between. I was looking at like True Glow, Hollow Sun, various other ones that fit this platform, and this is what I ended up with. It had great reviews. Everybody said the customer service was great for these. It had all the features I was looking for. It had the window size that I was looking for. And it also comes on basically rail setup. So if you want to put this on, I don't like your AR, pick 10 rail or something. But anyways, let's get this thing going here. And I pull that. So pull out the top two screws. Sorry. And then comes right off the base plate. And those are the screws that were originally in it, those do not fit that thread pitch. Well, they know this, and they ship it when you get it. Comes with all these options. It might have also, actually, I think that came with this. Anyways, multiple different bags, so you just figure out which screw pack fits. In this case, it was this one. Comes with apparently 3 screws, all the Allen tools and everything I need, star wrenches. The difference is these are the screws here that originally came with the mount, which I could use. But when you stick it in there, it doesn't sit very well. Versus these, it's kind of hard to do. There we go. Sits nice and flush, and it fits the way it's supposed to. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get that mounted on there. I have to go find back to the garage and get me some blue Loctite. If it's not froze, since the garage is like sub 30 degrees. And then we'll go from there. Alright, back to where we left off. I do have it now mounted. I did actually run into a problem where the 6x32 screws that they provided, this is the one that came with the mount, this came with the red dot, neither were long enough to go into the plate, go from the red dot all the way through into the mounting plate. They were too short by, this one would actually grab the threads, but I'd only get a half a turn. I'm like, well, that's not obviously going to be enough for it to stay mounted very long. So I just went up to the hardware store, I bought some various screws. They're all actually in the 6x32 thread pitch. Just bought some various ones. Figured I'd try and go black, stick with black. I figured these might be distracting, and these were brass, but they're in there. They just don't sit very flush. Probably gonna mess around and put these in and see if they sit any better, and we'll go from there. Alright, well, messed around for a few minutes. I think I cut the silver ones a little bit too long. The brass ones actually, they sit about the same. They all sit kind of about the same. I feel like the black ones fit a little better since those are all going to stand out. So that's that. I used the tool that came with the red dot. Popped open the side cover where the battery lives. And in fact, I already had a battery. Stick that back in. Alright, well, that's it. We're gonna, guess we'll just hit the button here. If we can't do this with one hand. There's the red dot. And it has, I don't think I'm going to be able to focus it. It's a very large red dot. This one has 3 different modes. Alright, just kind of press and hold and this got it to go through the motion. So now we just have the dot. It has the option in the manual here. Let's see if we can't find it. Yeah. Circle with the dot, or the circle. I just want the dot at this point. So alright, we're going to finish getting Getting it all assembled. I still have to throw some oil in the slides. That's already oiled. And we're almost done. Alright, there we go. It's installed. All I gotta do is go to the range and zero it in. It's currently, by the manual, I know, surprise, surprise, we actually looked at this thing. It's estimated to be zeroed at 33 yards, so I'll have to, some of the YouTube research and whatever, I'm probably going to zero it around the 10 yard is usually what they say is probably the best, since this is a range gun, and I'm definitely not going to be trying to hit anything at 33 yards. So alright everybody, thank you for checking out the channel, and if you followed along, awesome. Hopefully something in this video helped. Operation wise, this one does have the, I guess we'll call it shake awake. It's got the motion sensor in it. Press and hold to turn it on. It'll automatically turn off after 225 seconds, but technically, I was kind of reading the directions trying to understand, is it really off, or is it just pending you moving it and it turns back on? But I just pressed and held the down arrow. Changed it. It's got 10 brightness levels. I have it on 5. It goes all the way to 10. I had it at 10 and it seemed quite bright. So we'll see what 5 looks like at the range. Might have to bump it up to, I don't know, go in the middle like 7, 8. Alright everyone, that was my install of the VOTATU PMD 504 red dot. Have a good one, everyone.